Some of the largest national newspapers reported a sharp jump in online subscriptions last year after the 2016 presidential race. But a Pew study finds the industry as a whole saw advertising revenue plunge by nearly a third in the past decade.
The industry now wants Congress to take action by allowing them to renegotiate how content is shared on Facebook and Google. In a new Wall Street Journal op-ed, David Shavern argues Facebook and Google present an inexorable threat to an economically squeezed industry. He is president and CEO of the News Media Alliance, a trade association representing around 2,000 digital and print outlets in the United States and Canada. Welcome.
Great. Thank you very much for having me.
What's the threat?
The threat is, even though people are consuming more news than ever, people consume more hard news than ever in history. But
that's good.
That is good. That's great for democracy, but they consume it differently. They consume it online. And the problem is that when they consume it online, the money isn't flowing to the folks who are hiring the reporters. And we need a system that allows the folks hiring the reporters to be able to produce the great content that we need in this country.
Break it down for everybody who's not in our industry, what's happening. If there's an article, for instance, on CBSNews.com, it gets shared on Facebook. But who's getting the advertising revenue?
Well, most of the advertising revenue is going to Google and Facebook. As a matter of fact, those two together have over 70% of all the digital ad revenue out there. And so
they're getting the content for free.
Effectively. And, part of that is a newspaper thing. We had a history of giving away content for free. And now we've got to say, hey, this is a business, too, in the sense that we've got to pay people. And
so these discussions have been going on, with news organizations and Facebook and Google already. What has been their response?
I think they're indicating that they're trying to help publishers, but it hasn't been very fast.
Okay.
And we're in a kind of a moment where something needs to be done.
Facebook and Google both tell us they're committed to helping and working with news publishers, and those platforms help newspapers get content out to a wider audience. Why should they be expected to negotiate the way they operate? That's from those two.
Listen, this is important to everybody, right? News is not just content. News is what's tying together our democracy. And now more than ever, I think people understand that news, if you get fake news, if you get news, garbage news, it impacts the whole of society. So this is one of those situations where we need to figure out a solution for the future of the news business.
Okay, with this inexorable threat that you talk about, what's your solution?
The solution is we need a better deal from Facebook and Google, among others, a better economic deal. And also, one of the big things is brand. People going on Facebook often think that when they read it on Facebook, that Facebook has produced the content. People said, I read that news on Facebook.
So they don't know if it's CBS or Wall Street Journal or CNN.
Exactly.
Or somebody who didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah. So, one of the great, we all have crazy uncles, right? I got a bunch of them who give you conspiracy theories over the dining room table.
Yes.
And
you go, that's just Uncle Bub.
That's Uncle Bub, and that's different from what's in the paper lands on the driveway, right?
Yeah.
Now the crazy conspiracy theory and the news piece is fed you in just
not going to willingly agree to this. So are you suggesting government should step in and force them?
No, I think interestingly, it gets complicated, but under the antitrust laws, the newspapers currently can't get together to negotiate with these giants. And what we're just asking is the ability to negotiate as a group. That's all.
Isn't that an uphill battle, though, David? It's like when you're on the airline and now you got to pay for leg room and now you have to pay for an extra bag. If we've been getting it for free, what is their incentive to now pay?
Well, it is an uphill battle. I get that. But also, I know what the free news business is. If you want a free news business, it's Pope endorses Trump, right? It's fake news world. People want to know about the world, but if you don't have a business sustaining it underneath, you're going to get garbage. And it's in everybody's interest that we have a future for the news business.
You reached out to them?
We have, and
Did Mark Zuckerberg take your call?
They're a great distribution system, right? They reach hundreds of millions of people.
Facebook reaches 2 billion users.
Yeah, and that's
2 billion.
That's a great thing for getting news out, right? And again, the audience for the news product is bigger than ever, and that's a great thing. The other part we need to get to is, we need to pay reporters and things like that to produce the great content, and that great content is important.
You think Facebook and Google are killing small local newspapers?
I don't think that's their intent. I think there's been a big shift to online, and there's not an online model yet that's really sustaining the future of the news business, and we got to create one because that's where it's going.
Interesting ongoing conversation. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
Leave it on the note. Pay the reporters. Thank you, David Shavrin, very much.